come up to him and I'm like, man, I need to borrow some money. He's like, for what? Well, I'm going to start a business. Doing what? I'm going to do an online marketing thing. He's like, online marketing thing, man, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm so fired up, you know. I was like on cloud nine because I did not know how it would happen. I just had the feeling that it would happen somehow. He's like, how much money do you need? And I kind of paused for a little bit. I'm like, so $7,000 to get started. You know, I need some money for ads. Plus, I'm not working right now. Plus, we got bills coming in, and I got to, put on. And so I'm like, man, I need $30,000. $30,000. He's like, $30,000? How are you going to give it back to me? I'm like, man, I'm going to give it back to you within 60 days. Give me 60 days, I'm going to give it back to you. Guys, I was so fired up, you would not believe it. Seriously, and this is truth. So he's like, man, but see, he trusted me because he was my good friend. He was one of my best friends. So he's like, man, okay, I don't have the money, but I have my house paid up. I can actually probably go and get a loan against my house and borrow you some money. I made a promise to him that I would pay it back within 60 days because I was convinced. I'm like, I'm going to make this back within 60 days. These guys are doing it. I can do it too. So I borrowed the money. I invest $7,000, buying into the biz up. And then I spent a bunch of money on advertisement trying to, promote that biz up. And I ran a bunch of PPC ads and a bunch of, different media buys that I had no idea what to do. My sponsor at the time, he's like, man, just go run pay-per-click on Google. And at the time, Google was still pretty awesome. And 8 years ago, Google was still okay. You could still make money on Google, but I did not know what I was doing. So I wasted, within 60 days, I wasted $20,000 of the borrowed 30 that I borrowed. And my income was exactly zero. It's my zero money back. Now, I don't know about you guys, and for those of you guys who know my story, you probably know the ending, but for those of you guys who don't know my story, what would you do?
Cry. Drink heavily.
You borrow 30 grand, you invest 20, and you got 10,000. And the deal that I made with my wife was skeptical. She was like, yeah, you would have never done it before. Yeah, and, you guys have wives. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, ladies in the room too.
We are wives.
Yeah. And so we made a deal. I'm like, baby, we're going to invest 20,000, and we're going to have 10,000 to pay for bills and stuff like that. And so we drained the 20,000 balance, and we got this $10,000 left here. And so I had to make a decision. I'm like, okay, so what do? I go back to try to find a real job, making $15, $18 an hour. If I go that route, there's no way I can pay that money back to the guy, 30 grand. I mean, it's going to take like a year to even break even. Or I can pursue what I'm doing, but I need to do something different, So I had a good talk with my wife, and I finally convinced her that, because, and see, what I realized was that what the guy was telling me, the guy that sponsored me into the deal, he was actually on welfare. So if you guys watch my High Traffic Academy video, yeah, you guys probably heard me say that some of the, or a lot of the so-called gurus out there on the internet, they're pretending to be somebody they're not, right? And so that guy was somebody he wasn't. He's like, I'm going to teach you how to make $20,000. Just buy in. $7,000 is going to get you a spot. But he was not making money. Later, I found out that he was actually on welfare, and he quit the company because he was not making any money. So he was doing fake screenshots and stuff like that. So I got in, got in the hole financially, and so that's when it hit me actually. I'm like, okay, so if that guy's doing that, I wonder how many other guys are doing the same thing.
Funny.
And then that's when I ran across people like Frank Kern and Dan Kennedy and Bob Proctor. And before that I didn't know these guys. But I started to research. I'm like, okay, so who's real? Because I know, there's got to be something in there, And so I set out on a mission. I remember being at my computer. I wasn't working at the time. So I said, I'm going to do this. There was no plan B. I made the decision. I'm going to do this no matter what. So I remember literally being on the computer from morning, sometimes not even, taking lunch. Throughout the day, sometimes staying up until 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, just researching like crazy, just trying to find what the heck am I doing wrong. And I come across people at Frank Kern and a couple other guys online, which I'm right now looking back grateful, thankful, and thank God for it, because had it not been for those people, I wouldn't be here. I don't know. I'd probably just be working for some kind of bank or something, like I used to do during high school days. But that's when I realized that, and that what you need to do is you need to. That's what the whole positioning thing. I mean, I've been preaching positioning, right? You got to position yourself. The company I was a part of, it was a big company. They had not as big as Empower Network, but they had about 10,000 or so affiliates at the time. And so the first thing that my mentor told me, he's like, Vic, what are you doing? I told him what I was doing. He's like, man, you got to change your landing page. Brand yourself. Because people don't buy programs, people buy people. And so he started to teach me some things, and he taught me how to stand out from the crowd. And so that's where that's where the light bulb kind of went off in my head. And I had that aha moment. I'm like, okay, so this is how they're doing it. And after he told me this, I started to pay attention to what all the big guys were doing, how they were actually running their business. And I actually saw that what they were doing is that they were actually branding themselves, not necessarily the company. Right, so that's why right now I'm so big about the Big Idea Mastermind and actually helping you guys brand yourself. And I guess in all my teachings, I've been all my products and everything I do online, I always tell people brand yourself, position yourself above the crowd. How can you position yourself above the crowd? Because when he helped me position myself, I went to Elance. Elance.com, and I hired a guy to create a landing page for me. Paid him $500. He created a landing page. I remember posing for the picture for the landing page. I don't know, maybe some of you guys saw that. It's still on Google somewhere, but I'm standing like this, literally, and the guy told me, he's like, Vic, when you're gonna pose for that picture for your website, you gotta act as if you just got a check for $500,000. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Because what people don't see what you show them. They don't hear what you tell them, but they feel how you feel when you are doing what you're doing. So when I was posing for that picture, I was in a hole financially, literally having just a few $1,000s left on for everything, really for everything. But I was posing for that picture like I was a millionaire. Man, I was like, I had to trick my mind, and I was, we had lunch with a few of you guys a couple days before yesterday, and I said, you gotta trick your mind sometimes to succeed. Trick your mind. How? So when you guys are out here, you guys are shooting videos, you guys are, obviously we're going to be launching the Big Idea Mastermind, and the goal is, I want every one of you guys right here. This is a room. You guys look around real quick. Okay, look around, folks. They're going to have event like this 3 months from now. Okay, in Chicago. What do you guys say for you guys that show up here? Right? You guys took sacrifice. Some of you guys came from different countries. Some of you. How many of you guys from outside of the United States? Wow. Look at that. That is awesome.
My roommate's from India.
Nice.
Mexico.
Guys, why don't we do something huge, man?
Yes.
Why don't we do something huge? You guys made a sacrifice. You guys are here. And listen, Empower Network is a vehicle. You guys heard. What do you guys think about this event? Let's be honest.
Awesome.
Love it. Yeah.
And I don't want you guys to say it's awesome when you don't feel it's awesome.
It's amazing.
Do you guys really think it's did this kind of open your vision a little bit about what the company's all about?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Look how real it is. I mean, the guys up there are real.
It's real.
He talks with his heart.
It's real. You see? And it actually took me about a year to decide that we're going to be using Empower as a vehicle. But now that we know that, in my opinion, I know deep down in my heart of hearts that this company is going to be a $1 billion a year company if they continue to do what they're going to do, what they say they're going to do, which I believe they will. Gauging on what they have done so far, I really believe that they can be a $1 billion a year company. And right now, if you guys can shut those doors, that'd be awesome. I guess we got people coming out from the rooms. But why